Good morning, students. Myself Shilpa Sharma, and in the series of digital system design, today I will discuss about the brief introduction of HDL and their design units. Digital system design subject gives overview about the language hardware description language. A hardware description language is a language that is used for the design of electronic circuits, describing its interface, operations, and verification of its functionality without any actual hardware using simulation and synthesis. It is actually a text-based language to design a digital circuit instead of conventional drag and drop circuit design language like in T-Spice, LT-Spice. It is similar to programming languages but with explicit notations to describe this circuit syntax. We will discuss about the VHDL. Actually, hardware description language can be categorized in two types, VHDL and Verilog. We need to discuss about VHDL. VHDL is Basic Hardware Description Language. The full form of BASIC is Very High Speed Integrated Circuit Hardware Description Language. This language not only defines the syntax but also defines very clear simulation semantics for each language construct. It is a strong type language and often verbose to write. Provides extensive range of modeling capabilities. So possibly it is possible quickly to assimilate a core subset of language. The first HDL language was ISP, then KARL, then many more. But after upgradation of means by IEEE, the VHDL language was generated. Its first version was VHDL 87. After VHDL 87, VHDL 93 comes. After 5 years, it was upgraded and it was standardized by IEEE. In 2002, VHDL language means VHDL 93 was again upgraded to VHDL 1076 and IEEE 1164 was added to VHDL to introduce multi-valued logics. Different VHDL languages, as I had told you that different VHDL languages are VHDL, Verilog and ABEL. These are presently used in the market. Why we use VHDL? Why we don't use other languages? Why we need VHDL? Because it helps to bring the product very quickly in the market. Means using these languages we can quickly brought our product in the market because it allows designer to quickly develop designs requiring tens of thousands of logic gates, as well as it provides powerful high-level construct for describing complex logic. It also supports modular design methodology and multiple level of hierarchy. Multiple level of hierarchy means top to down bottom it can be, bottom to up it can be, and mixed it can be. Means we can make small modules of different kind of hierarchies and can add them to make a big kind of building block. It is a one language for design in simulation. It also allows creation of device independent designs that are portable to multiple vendors. So it is very good for ASIC migration. The various features of VHDL are its concurrency. Concurrency means parallelly we can make different modules and they can be simulated parallelly. They can be added. So it supports concurrency. It also supports sequential elements, means loop kinds of elements, means until unless case elements, wait elements. It also supports test and simulation, strongly typed language, supports hierarchy as I have told you, support for vendor defined libraries, and multi-valued logics also supported by these languages. Now if we talk about the design units, how many design units are there in a VHDL? Means to make a language, means to make a program, to write a program, how many design units to be made? So basically or broadly, we can divide them into two parts. First is your primary design unit and second will be your secondary design. In primary design unit part, three categories are there: entity declaration, package declaration, and configuration declaration. Basically, entity declaration are mostly used, means heart area. Why? Because it defines the overall circuit. It gives the name to that circuit. It also gives the input-output ports, that's it. Now, in secondary design unit, architecture body and package body is required. Architecture body shows the basic concept or basic formula of that black box. Suppose I am making a language, I am writing a language for AND gate. So what will be equation for AND gate? Let's suppose Y is the output and A and B are the inputs. So Y will be Y equals to A dot B. So this formula will be defined in architecture body only. Using architecture body, we can define any kind of circuit. Next, package body. Package body is required whenever we declare a package. It is just to incorporate small modules or to call small modules in our big program. So these are overall design units. If we talk about first kind of part, means entity declaration, then what is entity? Entity is referred to the circuit which is to be modeled. Every entity is defined by a unique name and encodes hardware abstraction of the actual hardware device. It represents the external interface of the circuit that is to be designed. An entity with one external view can have more than one internal views. It will depend upon functionality description. Since VHDL allows a hierarchical design, one entry when used in description of another high level entity is component. It is the design interface to the outside world. Even the topmost level of a hierarchy design must have an entity. Entity defines input-output ports and timing information, generics like, but can also use to do complete setup hold check. What are generics? We will discuss later on, but generics are basically to give the delay. If we want to generalize the delay for the circuit, then generics are used. Later on we will discuss. Now, what will be the syntax to define an entity? Entity, name of the entity. This is user defined. It can be my name, your name, and any alphabetical or numerical letters. So entity, name of entity is. This is the required syntax to define any entity of a black box whose language in VHDL is to be written. Next, we will define the port under bracket. Which kind of port we are doing? Input port, output port, or input output port. Accordingly, we will define the type. Type will be in, out, or in out. So, signal underscore name, that means A, colon, mode type, that means in bit, in std underscore logic. Type is what? Type is the way through which we define whether it is bit or std underscore logic or an array. Through type, these can be defined. Then if you want to define more signal, then again signal underscore names, which is again user defined according to the input or output values of a circuit, mode type, and so on. This way we can define the ports of any entity. Now in the last we need to AND the entity declaration, means AND name of entity, whichever name is written in the starting, that has to be ANDed. So AND that name semicolon. Now as an example I will explain you how to write an entity for half adder. You know that for a half adder, two inputs are required, A and B. Here I am taking X and Y, and one more input, carry. Carry is required for full adder. Leave carry here. I have taken enable. If you wanted to leave, you can also, but here I will took enable signal. So the output, what will be the output? Output are carry and sum. So total 3 inputs and total 2 outputs are here. So how we will explain? We will write entity half underscore adder. It can be half, it can be adder, it can be half underscore adder 1. As I have told you, it is user defined name. So entity half underscore adder is, then generic. Generic is the way through which we can generalize the delay. So I am giving here propagation delay in time. So time type is defined. This time is type. Propagation delay is name. Propagation underscore prop underscore delay is the user defined name, which I am defining here of value 10 nanosecond. Then port X, Y and enable are input ports, that Y colon in bit. Then carry and results are out bits. So we have defined. Then we have ANDed the entity name half underscore adder. This way we can define any entity. If you want to take more examples, then these are the examples through which you can define 4:1 multiplexer. In 4:1 multiplexer, total 4 inputs are there. Then one input will be output and so on. So if you wanted to define 4:1 multiplexer, you can define. For D flip-flop, you can define entity. These are the generalized example through which you can understand that how an entity can be written. Now, if we go into the secondary unit, then architecture will allow you to write any program of any circuit. So, how to write an architecture? Actually, architecture defines the behavior or structure of a specific entity. All entities to be designed in VHDL have an architecture description. It describes the functionality. A single entity can have multiple architectures. So, architectures are always compiled after compiling the entities with their references. Now, architectures are of 3 types. Means there are 3 levels of system abstraction of digital design: behavioral, data flow, structural. In behavioral is the highest level of abstraction. It describes the system in terms of what it does or how it behaves, rather than in terms of its component. In data flow, it represents or describes how a data moves through a system. In structural, it is defined in terms of interconnection of components. It is the lower level of abstraction. It is a collection of gates, components, they are interconnected. So, this is the way here. Syntax, how can it be written? Architecture, architecture name of entity, which was user defined. Here architecture name is also user defined. So name of entity I have written is, then declaration, component, signal, constant, function, procedure. These all can be defined in architecture. After defining all the terms, we will start the program, means main formula. So it will be written in the begin and then AND. So this is the way we can define any architecture. Now let's talk about configuration. What is the configuration? Configuration is used to bind entities. In case of entity with multiple architecture, a configuration is used to bind an entity to a particular architecture for simulation or bind a component instance of an entity architecture pair. It is required for simulating structural design, ones with underlying components, netlist, but is not required for purely behavioral design. So configurations are generally the final design units to be compiled. Now if we talk about package. Packages are what? It is a collection of commonly used data types and subprograms that are used in design, allowing it for reuses of including the package in the design in a similar way as header file are included in the C++. So toolbox similar to C that can contain the declaration of common data types must be used here. So packages compiled first before anything that depends on them are used. How we can write any package? Package name is similar to entity name is. So package name is, then we will declare all the exported constant packages, then we will add these package names. Now if package is written, then package body has to be there. Just like if entity is defined, then architecture has to be there. So what will we do define? The package body defines the code for a bodies of subprogram declared in the package. It has the same name as package, so there can only be one package body for each package. And it can be compiled at any time after package. How we can write package body? Package body is just like architecture body. Package body, package name is, then we will write all the exported sub-program bodies and declarations, and we will add the package. So this is the way through which we can write any VHDL program of any digital circuit. Now in the coming video, we will discuss deeply how to write any program for any kind of circuit. So this was the basic of today's lecture. Thank you.